good stuff.
So how do you know? Would you know if the mic's cut off right now? If you were looking and the mic's cut off, would you know?
Yeah, I don't know what happened last time. It was like I went to the screensaver, and I just figured we were still cruising.
Oh, the one that we got deleted?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That was a good run, too.
It's a good pod.
It was a good pod. Yeah. Not solid 8.5 out of 10. You hate to lose that.
I know. Well, I'm back. You guys missed me last week?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we recorded with Nash, right?
Yeah.
It sucks. Like, the one podcast I ever missed is, like, doing Trailer and Space Jam, which I was very excited to talk about.
I did not want to be the number 2 on that pod.
So...
That was a loaded podcast.
You know what's nice about being number 3? When Aaron's here, if I don't know the topic, he jumps in and I can look it up quick. But when Nash is here, he's not going to know the topic, and I can't really look it up.
We had a couple instances of you two going to the phones, and so I just started shaving off topics.
Yeah, you shut it down.
I was like, we're gonna move through this quickly.
We go through one topic. Let's go to fan questions.
That's Nash's favorite pod.
Finally, we got shit to talk about that I'm like really interested.
Yeah.
Oh, doing Space Jam, and it's like, nope, let's bring Nash in. But
Not your own fault though. You ditched us. So
did you?
Yeah, where'd you go? You went to Greece, right? How was it?
Greece.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Bo Oliver, joining you today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy. We're about to talk about the world of Hollywood. We've got stories, we've got reviews, we've got box office results. But first, you can listen to this podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all the places for podcasts. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on social media at Nerd Soup, Bo Soup, Nerd Soup Monkey, Teddy Nerd Soup. Seriously, do that.
Yeah.
On
Please?
Twitter, Instagram. My Twitter followers have been slowing up recently.
I've been stagnant for a long time.
Well, you barely tweet. You deserve to be
I'm
stagnant.
out there.
You just live in our replies.
Yeah, I do.
I'll ask serious questions and then you fucking give your answers.
I wish my polls didn't suck because I would have kept that going.
Sarcastic. You'll start it up. Redo it.
I should redo it.
Yeah,
I stopped
redo
doing it because everyone was shitting on the polls and I put too many Marvel movies in there.
Well, maybe that was necessary for this new set of polls.
Yeah,
A better poll
better
system.
poll list, a better category.
Because that's a hell of a decade. I think we have to do a better job of honoring. You sprinkled too many Marvel movies in there. You're like
How do you
Ant-Man
not,
versus
though?
Sicario.
How do you not though? I mean,
And Ant-Man
they were
wins.
top movies.
Too many.
Yeah.
I'd say Marvel only gets 2 from that decade.
All right.
Infinity War and Ant-Man.
Man.
No, I would say Infinity War and Black Panther. But you're
No
still going
Endgame,
to run
though?
into the problems because Black Panther's going to run through every movie it
Yeah,
faces.
I know. That was also
Infinity
annoying me.
War deserves it.
There was a lot of movies that were beating movies that shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
I guess that's my following, I guess. Maybe if you did a poll, it'd be different.
Teddy, yeah, you have a
Well.
vastly different following than both of us.
Well, I probably do.
Yeah,
You guys
not
probably
really.
really.
It was your giant family. It was Goodfellas. Well,
Maybe I'll do an all-time
pull out the
all-time
outline.
movie poll.
What?
An all-time movie poll.
I would
All-time movies?
love to see what you come up with for the all-time best movies.
First
Dumb and
round is going
Dumber.
to be Rocky 3 versus Men in Black 2.
I mean,
It's a good matchup.
Ted's not a fan of the original. No, you are though, right?
of what? Rockies?
No,
Or
Men in Black.
I actually did listen to the pod I wasn't on because like it's the first time, like the only time I can actually
I
like
didn't want to hear your opinion right now.
listen to a podcast.
You're going to piss me off and I'm not going to want to do the podcast.
No, I'm just saying. It's, every time I listen to it, it's either I have to edit and I won't listen if it's just something we recorded because that's just weird. And I hate the sound of my own voice, so I'm like, oh, let me see what like the draw is. You know, why do people like us? So I hopped on, listened, went very well. But Ted, I came to a revelation. Like, do you know Will Smith is your favorite actor of all time? Because I feel like you don't know that. But you listed like your favorite movies, and all 3 were Will Smith movies.
Wait, what were
that
they?
was like
Comfort movies.
Yeah, it's comfort movies.
Come on, man.
Men in Black, Bad Boys, and there's another Will Smith movie. I'm like,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was the
Yes.
comfort show.
it's like when
Hey, man, I
Andy,
love Will Smith.
I know, I know you do, but like, I feel like you don't talk about him just being your favorite actor at all because he is.
That was like subliminally.
Yeah, he is.
know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like when Andy's like, oh, all my favorite foods are butter, toast, pancakes, waffles. Like, butter's my favorite food.
That's steady.
Yeah.
This might be my revelation now that Will Smith is my favorite actor.
The 90s vibes of Will Smith is what really draws
Facts.
you to him.
Facts.
You specifically, because you just love the 90s. You love 90s hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air still really holds up. I think it's cheesy, but I think it's funnier than a lot of those 90s sitcoms. It's no Seinfeld, but I think it's still good.
That's what, like, Friends and Seinfeld, they're the same show, but Seinfeld, I don't know what it is. They just
not
do
the
it so
same
much better.
show.
They're the same kind of show. Seinfeld
Friends
just does
ripped off
something so much
Seinfeld. It's
better.
just not as good. Seinfeld is
But they're
broke
jokes.
the mold. Friends tried to continue on what Seinfeld was doing, but kind of reverted back to a lot of the cliches of the genre.
I was at a bar on Saturday night and like there's music playing, so the TVs weren't on. But you know how they put the captions on?
Mm-hmm.
You know when something ends and like just a random show comes on, but they don't change the channel?
Yeah.
Seinfeld was on at the captions, and I was just sitting there watching Seinfeld with the captions, and I was having a great time.
Even Seinfeld with the captions is better than Friends.
It's like I'm watching in the background. I was like, we hit turbulence. Bow, bow. I'm just sitting there watching Seinfeld laughing at George, you crazy guy.
Well, I just wanted to bring this up with Will Smith. I was watching Django last night and thinking about how Will Smith turned down that role. I'm kind of happy he did because I think Jamie Foxx was the better choice.
Yeah.
I think he actually deserves more recognition for his performance in that movie. He's fantastic.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
He's a fantastic actor.
There's so many good performances in that movie, but he holds it together.
You know
He's
what's
very
hilarious?
convincing as Django. His arc of going from you could see how clever he is from the very beginning, and as the movie goes on, he becomes just clear-cut smartest character in the movie. And I just think it's a great character.
Will Smith needs more recognition for turning down iconic roles and letting the better people do it.
No, that's definitely like one of his things.
The best part is that he acknowledges it too. He doesn't
know.
even hide from it. He's like, yeah, I just fucked up.
Can you guys
multiple
picture him as in the Matrix in Keanu Reeves' role? I can't picture him after seeing Keanu Reeves play it.
That's one of those things where, like, if it was Will Smith, I feel like, oh, we couldn't picture anyone besides Will Smith in that role.
Yeah.
I think the worst one he turned down, the one that would have fit him the best, was Inception. Because I think that's kind of a
didn't know he turned that
character.
down.
Yeah, he turned down Inception. That's a character that you need a leading man. You know, Leo was perfect for it because he's got the star power, he's got the name.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Matt Damon could have done that, or Brad Pitt if he was a little younger.
I was actually thinking about this today. I don't know what made me think of it, but it was like, I feel like save Batman. I feel like you could flip Leo and Christian Bale in every role, and like they would fit perfectly in each other's roles. You could like Leo and American
First story,
Psycho,
live
I could-
action Invincible movie is in development.
Think about it. So I was thinking back to an argument we had for like Leo versus Christian Bale, and I'm like, they really could like. I think they're the same par, and I can't see Leo as Batman, but Christian Bale could play every Leo role, and it would work. Like
Okay.
Christian Bale, like Wolf of Wall Street, would be perfect. I think. Like I was just.
I can see Christian Bale playing.
Oh wait, you're saying Leo can't play the Christian Bale roles,
I think he can, like besides Batman.
right? But the
and a
movie's just
couple
not going to be
others.
as good.
I was thinking like American Psycho, he probably could do, because that's more of the same kind of inner monologue
Fighter,
thing.
nah.
Not the Fighter.
Big Short.
I was thinking, I think Big Short, yeah. But I was thinking more of putting Bale in Leo's roles. But then I thought,
You think Leo can play Dick Cheney?
yes, I think he could.
Boy,
He
what
did
is
J.
he
Edgar
paying you?
pretty good.
Is he dating your sister?
Leo?
Yeah,
I fucking wish.
I know you do. Same par, Leo and Christian Bale.
I was thinking mostly Bale in Leo's roles. I was trying to fit the
Okay, I
other
like that. I
roles.
like that a little bit more.
Because I'm trying to do the opposite. I thought of Vice as like, yeah, he could do Vice. I think he could do American Psycho very well. And I was like, Batman, no.
You just hit me with the Kevin Durant could have made the finals with the 2018 Cavs. Kevin Durant, sensational player. He's not Braun.
No, he's not bringing that team there.
Can't even beat France.
That's embarrassing.
By the way, the
boy.
Olympics.
You worried?
I don't know, man. I don't like.
Oh,
I
you
can't get
just
into
You guys
it.
watching?
I watched the volleyball. That's fun.
European handball was a blast. I was
Yeah.
watching Norway versus Korea.
Is it European handball like the one that we played in high school?
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's just
same
like that?
3 dribbles,
That's
3
sick.
steps, pass, jump over the line, do a little flick.
Used to be body
But
checks.
I think it's hard with like Olympics. It's like when we all like went to war already. Like that's the real Olympics.
war.
Now we're gonna judge each other on who can, swim fastest. It's like no, like who won and let's do war.
The fastest.
Come see me outside.
Yeah.
One of our fastest swimmer. Can't remember
Katie
her
Ledecky?
name. Yeah, she lost. She lost yesterday.
Her uncle is the owner of the Islanders.
I love little facts like that.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Nepotism, you think?
Yeah, she's
in
privileged.
sports. Doesn't really work that way.
Well, he's a billionaire, so it's probably just invested like here, go swim.
Here, go swim. All right, first story here. We have Invincible.
Water a pool.
The live-action Invincible movie is apparently in development. It was actually announced 4 years ago with the same producers as the show, Evan Goldberg, Seth Rogen. It's still in development. Obviously, it's in the very early stages, but Robert Kirkman, the creator of the Invincible comic and also The Walking Dead, gave some updates on it, and really he just said that they're going to make their best effort to keep it different from the comic and from the show. obviously the show was a huge success in our circles. I don't know how much it kind of pushed into the mainstream, but it was critically acclaimed. We all loved it. The last 2 episodes maybe were the best 2 episodes of television I've watched all year, even including movies or anything that's really come out. But it was interesting to get these comics. It was interesting to get these comments and hear that they're going to change it once again, because the TV show made several changes to a lot of plot points. A lot of people commended the pacing in the show as better than the comic itself. So how are they going to switch it up again? Obviously, comics, TV, movies, all different. So that's interesting. It's an interesting first topic here for us to talk about.
I wonder where they go with the movie, because personally, I wouldn't want to watch Mark's development again in the movie. I'd want to see him after his dad leaves and see what happens, and then maybe expand on the movie with the TV show.
You want it to connect.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, connect.
It's not going to.
Oh, no, it's
maybe it should.
I'm not a fan of this.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people have had the same reaction.
I think it's going to be The Boys, but with actual fighting in it, and I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Nah, it's like
that was the only thing that's the only thing with The Boys I didn't like, is that there's no action, barely any action, barely any fights, barely any superhero powers.
But like, I think you already have the perfect way to tell the story with an animated series, and it's like, all right, so you're going to take everything that the animated series, just by virtue of it being a series, can do much better than you're ever going to do in a film, and just make it because you're piling on the success the series had. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't vibe with me. And it's like, you know, is this going to be a $200 million film? Because you're going to need that with the cast of heroes and all the different settings you're going to have to explore in this movie.
All the CGI kind of do.
Or you're just going to cut all that out, focus it more on the family dynamic. But at the end of the day, it's like, if they're going to tackle the same story, it's like, yeah, maybe it might be cool to see it in live action, but we already have it in its perfect form already. Too soon. And it's like right off this like initial success of 1 season of the show.
Yeah, stepping on the toes of the show doesn't sit well with me. If they do change it to where they are focusing on the family, and maybe they bring in some other secondary characters, they have the team, they have the scene with the Guardians, there's definitely a way to do that. You have to change it up. The thing with Invincible was that all the fans of the comics said certain arcs are unfilmable. I mean, certain things in the show are kind of unfilmable. Like you said, with the CGI budget, you have to cut a lot of that out. I still think you can get that same explosive and emotional ending as the show and as the comic, the confrontation between Mark and Omni-Man and the struggles that they are both dealing with.
I think there's a huge difference in like a Batman movie happening at the same time as a Batman animated series and a Batman comic run, because it's just so vast and so many different things you can tackle. With this, it's very straightforward. If you're going to start the story at the beginning, what is it going to be besides Mark and Omni-Man, which we just seen? It's not like Invincible has been going for 60 years and has so many different plot lines and different villains and interactions. It may have within the comics, I don't know, but like, you think with the movie, you're going to do a origin story, and that's like the thing with Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, you can have Into the Spider-Verse while you're having Spider-Man in the MCU and making his own movies and telling different stories, because there's that much more to pull from. But like you've seen with Marvel, like, oh, we're just not going to do the origin story. Spider-Verse, we're not going to do, you know, Peter Parker's origin, because we'll do Miles Morales. And it's like, you have different things to pull from. Yeah, but it just seems too similar of things you're going to tackle when we literally just got this.
Just from what we know from the show, there's like 6 different plot lines that they're going to explore on in the next season. So surely you can pull from something. There's got to be more stuff that we don't know about.
But what we would want to see in a live-action movie is what we've already got in the show.
Right.
If they start off, you need that development. You need to show Omni-Man killing the Guardians and then trying to still keep that secret while being a father to Mark. You need all of that. And we got it, and it was so well done in the television show. And you made the point. This is the best medium to tell this story, because a lot of the comic is unfilmable, and a lot of these comic writers these days almost make that effort to make their stuff unfilmable. I remember Brian K. Vaughan said that about Saga, and then in the middle of Invincible, just clicked in my head. oh, Saga can be an animated show instead of, they don't have to do a live action Saga because it is unfilmable. And if you did do it, you would have to cut so much out of it because it's so far out there and the budget would be insane. And it's the same thing with Invincible. If you get a really great creative team, Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen do have a good track record with what they've done with Invincible, the show, and The Boys, and you find a way to strip some of the elements of the comic while also keeping the key elements and telling a good movie, maybe I'd be down for that. It's Hollywood. Hollywood's going to move on without us.
Right.
But this has also been in development for a long time.
That's what I was about to ask you. Wasn't this...
So it's not like it's around the corner.
But wasn't this in development before the show came out? And now they're just now just going to go through with it because the show did so good?
Of course.
So, I mean, why not?
It's a no-brainer.
Just,
Well, Kirkman seems to be involved, and he seems to be happy about the direction it's heading.
Mm-hmm. Just be careful, man. You did good with the show.
We're so
Don't fuck
fresh,
it up with the movie.
Fresh off the show. Once I saw that, I instantly thought, I don't want this. But then 5 seconds later, I was like, I guess it makes sense. It's not. I mean, if it's great, right? But the show was very good.
I know.
And it's probably my favorite thing this year. I can't wait. I've been itching to rewatch it. Maybe I'll just wait for the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe there isn't as much fighting.
But then it's just The Boys. And you're ripping off The Boys.
Yeah.
The Boys is more political.
Can't wait for The Boys.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of The Boys.
It's another good show.
Got a lot of good
Amazon's
shit
putting
coming
bangers out.
I'm excited for the Magic Bird rivalry between Invincible and The Boys over the next few years because it seems like they're going to come out at different times. Same studio, same streaming service. You already see the debates between them. Which one do you like more? Which does this better? And
I'm about to pull that.
I think at the end of Invincible, we said The Boys, me and Aaron, and you said Invincible.
I remember.
Do you still stand by that?
If that's what I said, yeah.
No, actually, we said Invincible, you said The Boys. You're like, yeah, stand by it.
Was there, is this going to be released in theaters? I mean, it's probably too early to tell, right? Is it going to be theaters or is it going to be...
I spell theater R-E for some reason.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
When I'm typing theaters, I say theaters in my head.
Theaters?
Yeah.
And every time I type in, I guess I type about The Favorite a lot, the movie. So every time if I'm texting someone and I'm like, oh, like, I have to mention Favorite, it just comes up like the British way.
Can you stop recommending girls to watch The Favorite? It's a great movie. Yorgos Lanthimos, my favorite international director. It's probably going to come out on streaming.
Yeah, that's my game. I spit at the bar. It's like, hey, you ever hear The Favorite? Nope. Walk away.
Okay,
That's all you got.
We're not getting married. Couple of bad differing film taste.
What do you have in your Criterion collection?
Yeah, that's true.
What's that, you say?
Yeah.
If you can't agree on a movie, like,
Here's a picture of mine.
what are we?
Here's my latest haul from the Barnes & Noble sale, 50% off. Just in case you were
Oh, yeah, Kurosawa. He's like a
Froggy.
Japanese right there. I don't know. It's like,
super influential.
read the subtitles. It's like, hey, bro, you got to leave, man. You're
Speaking of subtitles.
You're scaring everyone away.
Speaking of subtitles, I switched dark. I went to the English dubbed.
Oh,
I can't do it.
Don't.
I can't do it.
Don't.
I can't do
What
it.
episode are you on?
3.
Don't. You
I
go
can't
back.
do it, dude. No, it's too much. It's like 20 hours, bro, of fucking reading subtitles.
Are you
The
serious?
Only thing I hate
I can't
about-
pay attention to the shows. I'm just watching the subtitles.
You can. It gets easier. The only thing I hate
I'll
about
try it again, but it's driving me insane.
only thing I hate about subtitles, like with My Hero, is like that's
You have to focus every second.
no. I like to focus, but I also am a big fan of eating while I watch things.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
No,
you- and you
seriously,
cannot-
me,
you
I'll shoot a
cannot
text here and there.
Eat and like pay attention with subtitles. So I eat during the. Good thing Hulu has fucking 3-hour ads because that's when I eat.
The dub is so distracting to me.
It is. I'd rather do the subtitles, but I just can't do it.
You have to.
I'll try it again.
You must.
But dark is dark. It's a fucked up show.
It's in the title.
Yeah.
Speaking of dark and fucked up, Jordan Peele's coming out with a new movie, and he released his first poster. It's called Nope.
I'll ride with this man anywhere. I'll watch any movie he makes.
I love how he's really embracing his role as the new age Alfred Hitchcock. Hold on, let me check the... We're still rolling.
Nice.
Like I said, new age Alfred Hitchcock. He's leaning into
Hitchcock,
the
huh?
horror. I think so. I think he's got that type of potential.
He's putting out bangers, yeah.
I mean, so far, we Get Out. I still really liked Us, but it was definitely, I think, a little bit lower than Get Out for me. But
It's not as good as Get Out, no.
No, but it was still good. And I think
Get Out was groundbreaking.
Well, the trend with the names of things that people shout in theaters is amazing to me.
Oh,
Get
wow.
out! And when someone goes into a dark room in a horror movie, nope. Hear it all the time.
what about Us?
Us, that was a detour. Now he's back to form.
I like it short and sweet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get
Get
Out.
Out, it's a fucking essay now compared to
Yeah, well, that was a little ambitious.
yeah.
Going more minimalist.
Was
here.
Daniel being attached to this announced with the poster, or was that known with the casting?
Daniel.
I can't say his last
You
name.
always
I'm
first
not
name.
butchering it.
Daniel Kaluuya. No, we knew Daniel Kaluuya was going to be in this. I think we talked about it on the pod. Keke Palmer as well, and Stephen Yeun, who's had a great couple of years. And Keke Palmer, who is a child star that we're all familiar with, could be a really big opportunity for her.
True Jackson, VP.
Right. That was the name of the show. Little bit after Our Times, right? Or before? No, yeah, after. That would be after.
I was actually like talking about like old shows recently too, and I realized like I watched like a lot of those shows like a lot later in life than a lot of people probably did. I stuck with iCarly for a fucking while.
I always used to think to myself as a kid, when am I going to watch as an adult? I can't watch Nickelodeon, but I love Nickelodeon.
Well into high school, I was still watching like a lot of like those Nick shows and Cartoon Network shows, and
I want to
Disney
watch the
Channel
new
shows.
iCarly. I truly do. I'm just curious. I don't think it's going to be good, but I am curious. For the nostalgia reasons. I always thought iCarly was a good show.
You guys watched iCarly? iCarly?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Gibby? Gibby's become a fucking meme king.
I never watched those kind
What
of
are you, a
shows.
cop?
Yeah, once Teddy hit high school, I was like, "Phew, I'm just gonna watch
Yeah, what the hell did you watch in
sports.
high school?
In high school?
You just watch your reflection in the mirror.
In high school, I played a lot of Call of Duty and sports. I'd play sports, go home, play Call of Duty, and go to sleep.
Must be
bet
nice to be the
sport,
king of
yeah.
high school.
I wasn't the king of high school. I don't like you put that on me. I wasn't the king of high school.
You were.
Well, I wasn't.
You didn't embrace it. You were Jon Snow as Lord Commander. You were voted in. You didn't want that power.
But you're making me like
Jon
this-
Snow is capable.
You're making me miss high school more.
What's funny about Teddy being so popular
I
in
peaked
high
in high
school
school.
is that he was still bullied by his friend group.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone outside of the immediate friend group loved Teddy and looked up to him, but we all just still made fun of him.
I know.
It was a weird dynamic for you.
We still have that dynamic right now.
Yes, we do. It's working well. You guys excited for this though?
I am. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Not a lot of information, but like I said, Jordan Peele getting back into the swing of things here.
Wonder when this has come out. I said that really weird.
July 22nd, 2022.
Okay.
Day
like-
before my birthday.
like a year.
Birthday
it's
party? Yo,
Yo, runs out of theater.
please. We can get
Is
that room that we can go into and have like a
Yeah,
pizza
yeah,
party.
Went over his head. We should do the Deer Park Pizza Party
Yeah.
place. Yeah, Deer Park Pizza Party Theater. Me and the homies.
Wait, a joke went over my head.
Yeah, because he was like,
Nope.
No, you suck.
2 for 2.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to the weekend box office.
That's what you get. That's
Did you
what
put
you
the
get.
Dexter trailer on the outline?
There was a Dexter trailer?
Yeah.
What the hell? You want to talk about it now before we get to the weekend box office? I can't
Sure.
comment
I mean,
on
you
it.
guys
haven't
haven't
seen it.
watched
Yeah, no, we
Dexter,
haven't seen
but
it.
I'm actually pretty excited for this because,
Is Dee Dee in it?
yeah, she actually gets into like, it's her laboratory now.
Oh my
So
god.
she gets the
yeah.
the laboratory.
little revenge story here.
And it's Dexter, get out of my laboratory.
Does he team
Bro.
up with his rival? Remember that guy?
The weird head?
Yeah, with the weird head.
My
Dexter's
favorite
mom.
episode.
Woo.
My favorite episode of Dexter's Laboratory is when he goes to like Japan and
Stop.
fights with the robots. Remember that episode?
I don't.
I can't recall Dexter the way I can other shows.
Mm.
I love Dexter.
Yeah, I don't remember Dex. I imagine if we went back and watched, it's probably terrible.
What?
Usually when one of those kid shows isn't memed heavily, Ed, and Eddie is one that I want to go back and revisit.
I could
Because
watch
Ed and
that.
Eddie is starting to be memed more
We
often.
need to start going back on these shows.
You guys are talking about
and
Courage
finding
the other
stuff.
day. And like legit,
Another show that's often memed.
that's peak horror, man.
Seriously,
any age.
it really is. It's one of the greatest horror shows of all
But
time.
it's also so goddamn funny. Like the scariest thing is the return to Slab. Then you have Eustace. Like, what's your offer? Like, it's just a perfect mix of like,
It gets me every time. He's trying to negotiate with this otherworldly spirit.
it's like the perfect mix of like some fucked up acid trip type horror, and like funniest shit ever.
So one of my friends described it as it's the world through a dog's eyes. It's the dog's perspective.
That's dog's perspectives. Dogs are fucking miserable.
Well, an anxiety-riddled dog. My dog is kind of like that. Not so bad, but she has bad anxiety. Sometimes I want to give her some CBD to calm her down. But Courage, you think Courage is in the middle of fucking nowhere? He's got no activities to do. Eustace is an abusive owner.
He really is.
Stupid dog.
Miriam's
made me look bad.
Fucking hopeless.
Yeah, all she does is rock on that chair.
Great heart, though. Heart of gold.
Yeah. But,
all right, let's move on to the Dexter trailer. What do you think? Is it looking good?
It got my
downvote on YouTube?
No, it made me like very interested because like I've talked about, like Dexter's one of my favorite shows of all time. I love the character. The first 4 seasons I would put up there of pretty much anything I've watched, and ever since then the decline it wasn't an immediate decline. It was an obvious drop in quality, but it was still very much watchable. But the finale is just something that is like the worst possible finale you can do, because I feel like a good finale for that show could have saved it. But
sounds like Thrones.
It's not really, because I think Game of Thrones at the end, like, it's something where everyone's like, oh, remake season 8. It's like, well, we know what season 8, like, that's the end.
That was supposed to be the end. It was just done poorly.
And you can't, like, extend, like, oh, we're just going to do a new season. But, like, we already know where these characters end up, and Daenerys is dead. Like, it would be pointless. Like, with this, it's like Dexter was left alive.
It's like a non-ending ending.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now we can get the guy who was there for the earlier seasons and the good stuff to come back. And it's like, sure, some of the story ended, but there's still a lot you can do with that character. Some of the characters aren't going to be there anymore, unfortunately. But like for that character, there's still stuff to explore. And like the show is Dexter. Like Game of Thrones wasn't just a Jon show. If it was just a Jon Snow show, then you could take him going into the wildlands. Oh, let's re-explore that character. But there was so many other moving parts where Dexter is more focused on Dexter. So if you leave that window open, I think it's a more natural transition to be like, okay, maybe 8 years later, let's try to give it the ending it deserves. And it's great to see Michael C. Hall come back, because I think he is one of the more underrated television actors of all time with that character. Obviously, you have the Bryan Cranston's, James Gandolfini's, and like the way he plays that character, I think he's like maybe not at that top level, but he's in a discussion as like one of the best leads, I think, in a drama series over the past couple decades. So
from what I know of the ending, it does seem like if they continue the story and deliver on a really fun and exciting season, it could save the show for a lot of people.
It can. Yeah. I think so.
That's great. That's great that they have this opportunity. Imagine they fuck it up even worse. It's worse than the original.
So yeah, go back quick. The first ending is a lumberjack. This time he ends up being like a fucking, I don't know, aerospace engineer.
Oh,
the Genius Bar.
Yeah, fixing laptops, killing viruses.
Like every time he gets like a broken laptop, it's like, oh, it reminds me of the broken bones of my victims.
Credits.
It's like, all right, Dexter.
Where's Dee Dee? All right, let's move on to
one last thing though. And I don't know, for the 5 people who like Dexter listening, it's like it ends with him losing his inner monologue, which kind of means like, for me, I took it as more of him just erasing that part of him and maybe kind of just being just this numb, broken, quote unquote monster that he thinks he is. So I wonder how
that's interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder how they're going to incorporate that back. I guess he's just going to get. I guess they allude to in the trailer that he kind of gets that itch back, and every time he sees blood, he kind of boils up again. So it's very, he needs therapy.
Does he only kill like who he thinks is bad, or is he killing innocent people too?
No, he kills like he's a blood spatter analyst, which is like CSI type shit. So like he'll take people who kind of maybe beat the system, got off on technicalities, or was able to not get the justice they rightfully should have had. And like, he makes sure that everything fits and the DNA works, and he solves a crime on his own. And then he's like, all right, now I can like kill this man or woman without feeling bad about it, because they're bad.
He's a hero we all need.
Yeah, but he's also like, he's not doing it out of like a self-righteous vigilante type way. Like that's how he spins it. It's like, well, if I don't release my urge to kill,
I'm gonna
on bad people, I'm just going to be a fucking Ted Bundy type guy. And it's like, I'd rather,
hot.
If I can do some good, then...
He kind of looks like Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy is not that handsome.
Good looking guy for his time.
For the 70s.
We just all ran for that. Yeah, I guess for the 70s.
Serial
sure.
killer handsome.
Right. All right, let's move on to the weekend box office.
Yeah, I want a thirst
results.
trap on Ted Bundy right now.
Yeah, we'll move on from that rather quickly. Look at that, Old, M. Night Shyamalan's new movie. It's getting mixed reviews from fans and critics. I think it's sitting at 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. M. Night Shyamalan is not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Not for most people. The
Yeah.
old M Night.
Old M. Night. Ooh.
Not old M Night, but old M Night.
Right, there's a difference.
Mhm.
M. Night Old and Old M. Night.
Mhm.
Well, the movie's making some money, $6.5 million.
Teddy's expression was pure. I have no idea what's happening.
We need a Ted cam, just for the fans. Not us, but just Teddy.
You guys just mended my mind into a pretzel.
It debuted with $16.5 million, followed by Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins that made $13.35 million. Black Widow made 11.6. Space Jam: A New Legacy made 9.5, and rounding out the top 5 is Fast and the Furious 9 with 4.8.
Is that the
million.
bar now for like debuting movies? It's like 20 million. Is that what we're looking at?
Well, a horror movie, that's a good debut for a horror movie. I can't imagine this movie costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people on a beach getting old.
That's what I was trying to think.
I'm like so
First
used
of all,
to
like the
seeing
old
big
memes
box
have
office.
kind of been pretty funny.
Old memes have been good,
Yeah.
definitely. I wanted to do one about like Benjamin Button, but this is stupid.
I think someone already did it.
They did.
Mine was going to be a little darker. It's like I just want to go to Old Beach and just take a nap. And just go to sleep.
That would have been funny. I'm going to steal that from you right now. I'm going to tweet
Yeah.
it, see how many likes I get.
But the joke being, I just want the beach to kill me. But I think
I got that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll be right there next
That's why
to
I'm
you.
taking it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't pack the cooler without me, boy.
do you think like a lot of like, all right, so I'm trying to readjust what a good opening box office is, but do you think it's more of the horror appeal or M. Night? Like, does he still have the pull? Because I know,
Definitely a little bit of both.
Yeah.
like with like Glass and Split, like coming off that, like that was definitely the anticipation there was like, oh, like it's a sequel to Split and Unbreakable. Like this is the draw is M. Night because of the 2 prior movies that people liked and wanted to see the 3rd installment. For this, I feel like it's
Well, that's
just
part of the draw too, though.
it just
They're
looks
good
like
movies.
a cool horror movie for people to go to. Like it's not like, oh, M. Night's got a new horror movie, because I don't think maybe he still has that draw, which is fucking. I gotta say, like him or hate him, like that's still pretty incredible to still be living off of those initial what was it, 3 or 4 movies?
He's the Dallas Cowboys of filmmakers.
Facts.
He's
They
living
had, like,
off the dynasty.
7 good seasons and
Like when you hear people like even like people in like the industry like who talk about him, like they still hold him in high regard.
A lot of people
hey, man,
like
if you
him.
do it,
He seems likable. He seems like an individual who's
No, he definitely
a
like
big fan of movies as long as as well as a director.
but like
A
after
movie like Split had so many things going for it. James McAvoy, everyone was intrigued by the premise. The M. Night name, Anya Taylor-Joy had some star power.
that was like her coming out party too.
Right. And Glass, I'm looking at Glass, it made, I didn't even realize this, it made $247 million. There's no way Old is
Wow.
going to hit the numbers that Split and Glass did. But Split was a box office triumph. It was on a $9 million budget and it made $280 million.
Jesus.
So like that's still like but those were like getting good like Split
Split was
made
the
a good movie
well-reviewed
again. So
movie.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
okay. I could see the
Right,
appeal
that's
there.
the other part that I forgot, that I left out, that it was well reviewed.
And it's a horror movie, and it's like the premise, see the trailer, like, oh, different personalities, that's interesting. So I think that had a lot going for it, but
This premise is stupid. From the second I saw it, I thought, M. Night's back in a bad way.
dude, that stretch is so goddamn bad.
That's a bad stretch, yeah.
What was it, like After Earth, The Happening,
Last Airbender.
Avatar.
Last Airbender. The other movies, they're bad. The Last Airbender goes beyond bad. That doesn't even feel like
I
an
think
M. Night movie.
After Earth is worse.
Maybe.
It's comparing.
Well, I haven't seen all of Last Airbender, so.
It's like comparing, like, yeah, it's like hard to like compare, like they're both fucking awful.
Hey, he did
So-
Signs too, dude.
And that's what we're talking about, like
Shit.
from Signs and
The
The
Village.
Visit?
I
The
actually
Visit,
like The
too?
Village. The Visit's okay.
What's the big Signs is the like biggest one probably.
Lady in the
right?
Water is a
Sixth
good
Sense.
one.
Sixth Sense. I don't
Devil
know.
was
Which one do you
alright.
think is more like?
Liked?
Well, just more like I feel like Signs from
Signs is probably the most popular.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right.
This man didn't do Stuart Little, right?
Producer.
Yeah,
And Unbreakable as well.
Yeah,
People really like Unbreakable. Just in terms of the good ones. That man, Newsweek just fucking screwed him over with that cover when they called him the next Spielberg.
Yeah, praised him
Folded
too
like
much.
a tent.
Yeah. Then he tried too much, and he was a tryhard.
but like also
He's
too, like
also
that's just
wasn't
not an
even
apt comparison.
No, yeah, it's just... Yeah. Not the next Hitchcock would have been more appropriate. Maybe that would have...
So you just fucked up Jordan Peele.
Oh, fuck. No, I think he'll live up to it. Because Get Out is a way better debut than Sixth Sense. And Us is better than Unbreakable. I think Unbreakable is good, but I think it's overrated because of how bad the other movies are. So people hold it in high regard because it's the Shyamalan scale. They weighted against the other ones. Split, to me, I actually think Split might be his best movie.
That's because how good James McAvoy was, though.
A lot of it has to do with McAvoy's performance,
He
which is, to
fucking
me
killed
is
it.
an underrated performance.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be underrated. I think it should have gotten more love during award season, but you know how those movies go.
Yeah, well,
All right, let's move on to the next story. M. Night, well, none of us have seen it, so we got to go. Are you guys going to go see Old?
Are you?
I gotta start going back to movies.
I'm going to see it for free on my nice little Regal thingy
Regal
membership.
I got a Regal membership.
Oh, you do? You don't go to the movies anymore.
Unfortunately, I don't. I can't rebuttal.
We got Green Knight coming
I wanna
out this
go.
weekend.
I want
Green Knight. Well, let's just go to the Green Knight, right? The reviews are overwhelmingly positive so far for Dev Patel's new medieval.
You know, that's one thing I wanted to say when we talk.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to talk about last podcast when we were talking about Dune. The Green Knight is everywhere on social media.
It's a big film Twitter movie.
Film Twitter is
everywhere I
very
scroll, I
excited
see the
for
Green.
this,
I
yeah.
see Green Knight. Dune needs to start doing this.
Well, Dune's everywhere. I was thinking about this too.
Dude, I barely see Dune on anything.
Dune's not going to do well at the box office.
I know. I take back my tweet. I said
Yeah, he says he's going to be the next
Whoa,
Avatar.
you were bugging with that. That was
know.
a fucking.
It should.
steaming
I
I
hot.
think
It should,
time
though.
and
It
time
should.
again we get trapped in the film Twitter bubble, and like for you would think like Green Knight's going to be like the next of like Avengers.
I don't think it's gonna be the next Avengers.
I know,
think
but
it's
I'm just
gonna
saying,
do well in the
like, the
box
way-
office.
Yeah, the way you view
But the
things.
way
If
people-
Dune's going to beat Avatar,
Oh.
then Green
Oh,
Knight's
yeah,
going to
alright.
be
All right, well, I
higher
take it back.
GDP than.
I took it back.
So that's
I take
just
it
like
back.
all like who
I'm gonna
people
delete
I
the tweet
follow,
once-
people like our
once we're done.
mutuals.
Delete it. You better keep that. No, stand by it.
Should I stand by it?
Yeah, it's a great hot take. I love hot takes.
It's like sometimes you just get in this bubble and it's like, oh yeah, well my whole feed's talking about it, so this movie's gonna pop off. And it's like, well yeah, my whole feed.
It's your 12 followers that are popping
Yeah.
off on it.
I'm going to go in the reverse direction because the talk before Blade Runner 2049 came out is that it was going to be the next highest grossing R-rated movie. It was going to be the next Mad Max. And now everyone's so afraid that Dune is going to fail. I think we might be surprised with Dune. I think Dune may surprise us. If they're talking like it's his best movie ever.
What's the pull for this movie? 200 million plus?
I think if it opens anywhere above 75 million, that's a good sign. A great sign would be 100 million. I don't think it's going to be $1 billion movie. What I want from this is I want it to make somewhere between 575 and 700. If it can get into that range, it's a success.
Yeah.
It can't be a Blade Runner 2049 where it struggles to even break even, because then the studio will have reservations about doing part 2. I think part 2 is going to happen either way, even if it doesn't make a profit, because it's going to end in the middle of the book. We don't know where. Obviously, they haven't given us any indication, but this is part 1. That's from the mouth of Denis Villeneuve.
The budget
I'm
for this movie is
hoping that it can
165.
just make a profit. If it makes a profit, that's a success. We don't need it to be, we need it to get one of those Mission Impossible type numbers. We don't need it to do Lord of the Rings numbers. Be nice, but maybe it does come out and the word of mouth is so good. It's premiering in September at the Venice Film Festival, and then it's also going to be screened at TIFF. Some people who have seen it are saying it is his best movie so far.
I think we talked about this. Like it could be like his second to like last best movie for me, and it would still be a fucking
A banger.
phenomenal movie.
The Villeneuve scale compared to the Shyamalan scale is quite the scale. Like Shyamalan's best would be Villeneuve's worst, and Villeneuve's worst would be Shyamalan's best. But yeah, if it's, I mean, his worst movie, if it's Enemy, maybe that would be pretty good.
So
even if it's worse than Enemy, but if it's similar.
So it debuts in September, you said, at the Toronto?
Venice Film Festival,
Venice?
and then it's also going to play at TIFF.
And then it comes out in October, so it's got about a month to build traction after it debuts. with
Well,
the
we're
critics.
also dropping a Dune video next month, so we'll do our part. And we're going to review the original.
Wow.
Yeah. Just remember all caps
David
when you spell
Lynch.
Dune's name.
Wait, am I part of that we? Or is that...
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
No, we're going to get Marissa.
I don't know. I wasn't told.
Actually,
Was
that
that you
might be a
telling
good
us?
idea. Yeah, Teddy, you're out.
All right. Let's do the book.
I love how you... Can you finish the book, man?
I should.
Finish the book before the movie.
I
You're
got till
supposed to be
October.
my Dune guy.
I know.
You're supposed to be my
I dropped
Duncan
the ball.
Idaho.
I dropped the ball.
You got stabbed in the heart.
I got poisoned.
That's more appropriate, actually. What topic are we even on?
Green Knight. Positive reviews.
How the fuck did we get here?
No, that wasn't it. We were still on...
No, we were
were
still
on the
on
Green
Green Knight.
Knight.
You brought up how you saw Green Knight all over. It is a favorite of film Twitter. People
Yeah.
love Dev Patel.
I mean,
No,
pretty
we were
much-
still on
Dev
box
Summer.
office, and I brought up Green Knight. We weren't
No,
on
no,
topic.
No, we were
moved.
definitely on
We
Green
moved.
Knight.
You didn't bring it up.
No, he
I
transitioned it. And then
That's
you
not
brought
called
up
for.
how...
He does the transitions.
Well, you derailed it by saying you've seen the Green Knight all over Twitter and you haven't seen Dune.
I didn't derail it. That's part of the conversation.
Yeah, so he
but
transitions.
If you're going to claim that we weren't on a topic, we were. So you did derail it. It's okay. It was a good derailing. Sometimes you take a detour and you find a nice little side quest and you get a cool sword.
Yeah, but I don't want to get blamed for the detour. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
there's
we have
no-
a cool sword now.
Well, the Dune detour was your fault, of course, but
There's nothing wrong with the Dune detour.
unless you run into some worms, right, guys? But yeah, I mean, this is expected for, I think, this movie. I don't think we had any... That's why it was so kind of like propped up by film Twitter. It's because like we expected it to be good, and
And it's been pushed back for many, many months because of the pandemic.
what was
So to
Dev
hear that
Patel's
it's
last
as
movie?
good as everyone anticipated is awesome. The Hotel movie?
Mumbai, yeah, that was actually pretty decent.
I never saw that one.
It's good.
I like Dev Patel, though.
Armie Hammer was in it.
How do you know that? If you didn't see it, I don't get you. I don't get you sometimes. You're an anomaly to me.
What do you... I have a movie podcast.
I know, but you didn't see the movie, and you just pulled it out of the hat. That was his last movie.
Because I remember he was in the hotel. He was scared. The hotel got hijacked by terrorists.
No, that's not. They changed it. Armie Hammer was in it. He's like, "Fuck, I gotta get out of here. Dude's gonna eat me."
That's even scarier. Yeah,
Yeah.
being locked in a hotel with terrorists or being locked in a hotel with Armie Hammer.
Was that confirmed that he eats carcasses? Or was that just a rumor?
Allegedly.
All right.
For the lawsuit.
You can't believe that then.
Do I think the man's feasting on flesh? No. Do I think he wants to? Probably.
He probably does,
He
yeah.
definitely seems to get off on the idea of him feasting on flesh. That, I don't know if that could be disputed.
It's like the Always Sunny when they get the taste.
He got worms.
It's the lion that's tasted man.
He ate infected meat.
Yeah, good reviews here.
I'm excited for it. I'm going to see this movie.
Yeah,
Comes
critics
out
from
Thursday.
all over Twitter are just absolutely loving it.
You want to see it together?
Oh, I would love to. Are you to show up?
I'll go.
Yeah, we'll see about that. You like the Green Knight. You're like, go to this movie and then another movie in a year. All right, let's go to our last story here since we jumped around a bit. Excited for the Green Knight. Also excited for this news. David Gordon Green. We talked about this a few months ago on the pod that he was doing a continuation of the Exorcist series that would serve as a direct sequel to the original. Now it's being reported that it's going to be a trilogy starring Leslie Odom Jr. and Ellen Burstyn will return as her character from the first movie, who played, what's the girl's mom? What's the girl's name?
McNeil? Isn't it Chris
The crazy.
I think that's the actress.
the possessed girl.
Oh.
The possessed girl. Her mom. She's coming back. And this movie, the first movie, will be about Leslie Odom Jr. trying to track down the mother because his daughter is, spoilers, possessed.
I don't like this.
Well, it was
Is he gonna
purchased
sing
by
in this? I feel like ever since Hamilton, everything I see him and he sings.
Maybe that's how they get the
A
demon
musical exorcist?
nice hymn.
Good singer.
Kumbaya.
I don't like this.
Can you kumbaya out a demon? That's what I would do.
That's how you got them out, right?
If I
You
always
sue
like,
them out? No, it's pretty violent.
One of my favorite rap lines ever is Cameron and Killer Cam saying, "Damn, this is the realest since Kumbaya." That is such a brag. Killer Cam is the realest since Kumbaya. Okay.
Demons, man.
What were you going to say, Aaron?
Like, what if, like, demons were, like, real?
They are. Go on.
And someone got possessed, and they're like, oh, you're just crazy. But it's, like, actually happening. In the movies, you know, obviously they're like, oh, we can fix it and get him out. And it really is a demon. But in real life, you know,
but the demon kills the person inside. There's no fixing it once you get possessed. Except for in this one, but
no, you
she
get
got
exorcised.
Lucky. Yeah, but it's very violent. And ends in death most of the time. Exorcisms.
I would fuck a demon up.
I think I have the wherewithal to resist a demon.
The wherewithal? Or the willpower?
Willpower, wherewithal. the demon ain't getting to me. Put it that way. And if he does get into me, he's getting out.
And your demon...
He's like, I gotta get the hell out of this brain.
I don't need this shit.
It's like when SpongeBob got kidnapped and they just return him. Like he won't stop talking. It was purchased, the rights for this trilogy was purchased by Universal and Peacock for $400 million. So the first movie is planning to come out in theaters, and then the second two may come out on Peacock.
Really? I was thinking that'll be a hilarious thing if these are Peacock exclusives.
Well, recently I've been using Peacock to watch the Olympics. That's really the only use I have for it so far.
I have Peacock.
I'm boycotting Peacock. Unless you have, unless I can take care of Peacock.
I'll cut that out. You can still boycott it on the pod, save some face here, but also use my account.
I'm boycotting Peacock.
Right, yeah. I'm keeping all that in. That's good stuff. Originally, it was supposed to come out for Blumhouse, so I don't know if this was a deal between Blumhouse and Universal, or maybe Universal...
I kind of would rather it be Blumhouse. Even though they have, like... I think they've kind of changed a little.
They've gotten better.
Yeah. And Blumhouse at least sticks true to, like... Even if, like, the earlier horror movies and, like, the reason why it got its bad name, but at least, like, it didn't try to, like, sugarcoat or anything. Like, if it's a Peacock exclusive, I would rather go Blumhouse 9 times out of 10, especially for an Exorcist movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't get how you guys hate the idea of Invincible, but you guys are on board with this.
I don't necessarily know if I'm on board with it. I'm not
remaking, but
excited for it. But David Gordon Green, his trajectory as a filmmaker has been interesting because he started out as making critically acclaimed indies, and then he started making absolute shit comedies. And more recently, he's gotten back to his roots, where he had a great effort with Joe, starring Nicolas Cage.
Pineapple
a lot
Express
of people
was good.
loved. I love Pineapple Express. A lot of people loved his Halloween reboot or Halloween sequel, whatever it's called, and now he's really focusing in on the horror. Maybe that's where he kind of operates the best.
But horror is
David
very
Gordon
tough to
Green
make.
being attached is why I'm excited for it. Even though I didn't love Halloween, I really don't hate the idea of doing a direct sequel to that first Exorcist movie. Because the movies that are have been inspired by The Exorcist mostly suck.
Any Exorcist movie besides the originals are horrible.
A lot of people like The Exorcist 3. A lot of people also like the television show.
Emily Rose was okay.
This can't hurt.
Again, Ted, that's not part of, like, The Exorcist.
I know, but it's an Exorcist movie. I'm saying, like, any Exorcist movie there's nothing compared to
Exorcist Jace.
Yeah.
You're going to keep throwing that in. The worst one you ever did, though, was Rob Zombie's Halloween.
What?
I forgot about that.
I don't even remember how that... You thought it was a part of the Halloween continuity.
Oh, yeah.
On our Halloween review. Great review, though.
All right, well, guys, there's been like 8 Halloweens. I'm supposed to keep track of all of them.
Are you going to go see Free Guy?
I think I might enjoy that.
I know what it is.
I think you'd like it.
The Ryan Reynolds movie where he's...
Trapped in a video game.
Yeah. Did you see the
I saw a trailer for that.
Yeah, the Deadpool video. That's what they're talking about in that video, but I think I might enjoy Free Guy.
Well, the new Halloween is going to debut at the Venice Film Festival and release this year, which is going to be a sequel to the movie that came out a few years back.
I'm so done with Halloween.
You didn't like the new one, right?
I didn't mind it. I think they're cheesy. This like the screen, like the scary movies. Those
This is that new Michael Myers.
I think it's a good reboot of Jason, Friday the 13th.
Oh,
Good reboot.
really?
Of that one. Yeah. Or Freddy.
You're upset about the Exorcist reboot, but you wanted Jason.
If you're gonna do Mike Myers, why don't you
Remember
do
they
all
just
of them?
made
Do Freddy and do Jason?
Remember like the early 2000s when they just made him fight everybody?
Freddy vs. Jason?
Didn't he fight Alien? Didn't he fight Predator?
He did.
Jason.
Did he?
Jason X. They were up in space.
Just like, yo, let's just put Jason against everybody. And he's like,
Freddy vs. Jason was actually pretty funny.
I blame Freddy versus Jason for every cinematic universe.
They started it off.
That's the variant timeline we're living in. The TVA just said, you know what? Let them
let
suffer.
that happen.
Yeah. They need to appreciate the good movies. All right, guys, let's move to fan questions.
What was his deal? Like, he almost drowned, and that's why he became a killer?
Who, Freddy?
He's got some kind
Jason.
of powers, though, doesn't he? Jason? I think the hockey mask gives him powers.
Wait, Freddy's in Friday the 13th.
Jason is Friday the 13th.
Oh, Freddy's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember from the Nicki Minaj song, Nightmare on Elm Street, and guess who's playing Freddy?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People, you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
Okay, this question here from Just Bauer now. Dune will be overzealous coming of age story. Prove me wrong. Well, not a question. No, I mean, I don't think it will.
It could be if it was I think not as capable of director of Villeneuve, but I think his ability as a filmmaker, I think it's going to be a lot more nuanced and something more than that. At its crux, probably, yeah, some coming of age aspects because it is a young adult character finding his own, trying to make his mark in this world, trying to succeed his father, from what I've gathered from the trailers and what I know of Dune. So yeah, there might be some aspects of that, but it's not just going to be a one-note film like that.
That aspect is more or less like the secondary story to the movie, though.
Yes.
Paul coming into his own.
And
it's not only about that.
I was trying to sell it to Nash by saying all the things that it's setting up, they really try and break the conventions of the genre, of the coming of age, of the chosen one, the destiny, the one person that needs to save the world. You can go into it and expect them to divert from some of those conventions. I don't think it will be overzealous. I think that it's a movie that warrants the ambition that we've seen on screen. People were complaining about the color palettes, and this new trailer came out. We got some really cool looks at Arrakis and the different parts of the planet. You know, it's obviously a giant fucking desert, but seeing some of these different characters and the different costumes, the different looks, I think it's going to be a very, very faithful and maybe even faithful adaptation and maybe go beyond the book in many ways. So we're excited. And if it is, then you called it. So this question here from Diego Camargo. Favorite superhero show of 2021 so far? WandaVision for me. Oh, no, Invincible.
Yeah, Invincible for me.
Yeah, I'd rather go Invincible. Clear sweep, but I was trying to think what other ones are. But yeah, the Marvel ones. It's just those and WandaVision, but yeah, Invincible.
Loki, though. I can't believe how much Loki just set up. Like, I feel like all of us thought WandaVision set up so much, but Loki just broke the fucking universe. He set up everything.
You know who didn't like Loki? Marissa.
Really?
I texted her. I was like, when you finish, you should come over and do a season review. And she just texted me, Loki was meh. So maybe we'll do it with Aaron and Teddy instead.
If you think about it, though, anything can happen in Marvel now. It's just a different timeline. They can cross anyone now if they want to.
It's the ultimate cheat code.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be used as a cheat code. Cam,
but you can.
One of our Cam's stepdad, who's very well versed in the superhero stuff, was furious with Loki because he thinks it's going to be used as a cheat code, and that's really all it's setting up.
I said that to Vinny, and he was appalled that I said that. He said this is the best thing Marvel can do.
I think it's the complete opposite. I think that there's a better chance that they can fuck this all up and it's a mess, rather than it's used as. I guess maybe that's where they have the built-in cheat code, right? If it fucking sucks, they could just be like, well, the TVA's
Doctor
back.
Strange fixed it. Yeah.
The snap of the finger, everything goes back to normal.
Well, let's go find the Infinity Stones again.
Speaking of multiversal movies, you saw that set photo from The Flash that was going around the internet? They're saying it could be Batfleck on the Bat motorcycle. Batman's on set.
Even like more interesting news. Do you see Ben Affleck and J-Lo?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they just like went public again, right?
Time is a circle. A never-ending circle.
It's a circle.
Are you gonna sing the Circle of Life?
No, he was referencing I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Wow, how the fuck did you catch that?
It's like the one of the funniest
that's like the
parts
only
of the
line in the
movie.
movie that's good. Yeah.
One of the better Adam Sandler movies.
I did quite enjoy that when
Yeah.
I watched it.
This question here from Max Freeze. Do you think that the rest of the Deadpool cast will transfer over to the MCU with him?
Yeah, I think it's a good shot. TJ Miller joins the gang. I think he'll fit right in with that universe. I think Feige will give him a lot of things to do, and yeah, I think that works out well.
All right, next question here. There's definitely a chance that TJ Miller will go to jail in the next 5 years. There's also a chance that some of those actors do come over with him. I think so.
What's the taxi driver's name?
I hope he comes over.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
I hope they bring. I hope
Didn't he murder his girlfriend's boyfriend?
he kidnapped him. Which
Oh, right. He was encouraged by Deadpool to do that.
yeah, so
Deadpool really, he's
can't blame
delightful,
Deadpool for that,
but he really does horrible things.
what's
Can't blame Deadpool.
I hope Colossus is like
It's the best Colossus
they
we've
use that
gotten.
iteration
Yeah.
if they do the X-Men.
Right.
He's hilarious.
That's the tricky part because they're bringing in the X-Men and Deadpool does use some of the bigger X-Men. He is a great interpretation of that character. It's easier if they brought over Cable. I think that's an easy one. And also
They
Zazie
can't.
Beetz is
They can,
yeah,
but they can't.
They can. They're already doing it.
I know, but I mean that. But there's a difference between
Well, his voice is so Thanos now.
There's a difference between bringing in like
Vin Diesel as remember when he was going to play one of those characters?
Was he really?
Yeah, I think
like no, like Gemma
Gemma
Chan, like she's like obviously she was like a super backup character in a Captain Marvel with like, so I guess that's like an apt comparison, but like Thanos is your whole first saga, so it's like it's
a
hard.
variant timeline. Oh, you don't think Deadpool would reference that?
I feel like I know you. I feel like I've heard your voice before.
He called him Thanos in Deadpool too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah. He told him like good luck with getting the stones or something like that. Oh, he does a little. No, that was a trailer. I think he does refer to him as Thanos.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So dark. What are you from a?
Can
DC
only
movie?
Deadpool do that though? Like, if they did that anywhere else in Marvel, like, would you guys find it as funny?
No, it would completely ruin everything.
Yeah, it has to be Deadpool. He's the only one that's given that power.
Right.
This question here from Simba, the Lab King. Top 5 opening credits from TV shows. Top 5 is tough.
Yeah, that's really hard.
But my favorite opening credits.
True Detective season 1 is so fucking good.
Fucking just
Hijacked is
just Drew Holiday'd me. Going for the game winner. Yeah, True Detective season 1. Game of Thrones is up there for me. Cowboy Bebop is a great opening credits.
Fresh Prince.
I love Twin Peaks.
Fresh Prince is iconic. Twin Peaks, of course.
The original, like, it's not like boring, like it's nothing crazy, but just that music is so good.
Samurai
Just the
Jack.
different settings. It's just amazing.
Yeah, perfectly captures the vibe of the show. Samurai Jack, yeah. Unspeakable evil.
Attack on Titan. I think it was which one? Which one is the?
I can never remember.
What season is it? I hate how they switch.
They do switch.
The My Hero intro right now is fucking trash. Skip that shit.
What season are you on again?
I don't know. They just
You finished the overhaul arc, right?
They just got their provisional licenses.
Oh no. Okay, you're coming up on a good intro.
Okay.
Once they get to overhaul, that's a better one.
Can we do post
Maybe
end
cried the
credit
other
scene
day.
and put Dragon Ball Z in it?
Why? What happened?
When he got his provisional license, he was so happy. Like, good for you, Deku. You
What'd he
worked
say?
hard.
Can we do an end credit scene and put Dragon Ball Z in it?
The one that I animated?
Yeah.
I love that end credits. It's incredible.
It was worth it, right? You're like,
Oh yeah, no,
10 hours on
that
it.
kept me sane during the beginning of the pandemic.
And Fresh Prince is a classic.
Jeffersons.
I love it. Moving on up. This question here from Karn Chot. Who is your Dragon Ball Z champion in a Pokemon World fight? You're fighting Mewtwo. Goku is going to turn Mewtwo into a Gogurt. So, I don't know. Krillin?
Vegeta would do it too.
I think so.
Anyone there.
I
I don't
mean-
think.
I love Mewtwo, but no disrespect to Mewtwo. like a Stephen A. Smith, and then it says, and then continues to disrespect. We need to start doing Stephen A. Smith parodies of some of these questions. Like Stephen A. breaking down a Goku Mewtwo fight.
That's kind of disrespect to Goku, put them against Mewtwo.
You just disrespected all of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I didn't get the question.
Pretty much, who would beat Goku? Who would beat Mewtwo?
In a Pokemon style fight? I don't know. Nobody, though. I mean, Mewtwo wouldn't stand a chance.
There needs to be a universe where Goku and Superman fight for real. Then we get a definitive answer.
But whoever writes it is going to, whoever writes it can decide. There's no definitive answer. I can write a comic right now.
Then it's definitive. It's what we got on paper. There's nothing on paper where they actually fight.
I mean, Batman beats Superman in a comic. Does that mean Batman's stronger than Superman?
Smarter.
He's got that brain on him.
This question here from J. Isaiah Smith. Thoughts on The Rock and Vin Diesel beef on the Fast and Furious movies?
I kind of love it.
Dwayne's out for good.
I think it's funny that they don't get along.
The comments that Vin Diesel made a few weeks back that I was trying to get the best performance out of, like he's Lee Strasberg. He's his acting coach. Dwayne, you gotta be better than that. I mean, The Rock isn't the best actor of all time. He's a better actor than Vin Diesel. That's a little disrespectful. What does The Rock truly need to do to be better in those movies?
I love how
cut him out
Vin
completely
Diesel,
of some of them.
Stanley Kubrick.
I don't know.
Vin Diesel has a high appreciation for film. He is a film nerd, but that doesn't
Spielberg flick.
Doesn't mean Fast and Furious is a film.
He was bouncing off Tom Hanks like no other.
He's very full of himself,
dude. I don't know why. Vin Diesel, I guess, convinced us that he's just this massively jacked, ripped guy. He's just a normal looking bald dude.
He used to be big.
I don't think he ever has. I'm trying to think back.
Triple X,
that muscle shirt.
I think he was just bald.
He had that movie.
I think that's his thing.
No,
The Rock is a fucking big.
He has the energy of a jacked guy.
It's the voice.
Yeah.
I forget what's the name of the movie where he's blind and he's fighting?
Riddick.
Riddick, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is he blind in Riddick?
Yeah.
Oh, Book of Eli.
No,
it's the blood one. I thought
he's blind and he's a blind fighter. And,
Daredevil.
I think it's Riddick. No,
it's Book of Eli.
It's not Book of Eli.
Oh yeah. No, it's Book of Eli. The sequel.
I think it's funny.
Book of Vin.
Bloodshot. You were right.
Yeah, Bloodshot. Right?
And Riddick, he is blind.
You know that for certain?
Yeah, he's blind in both of them.
I can't say I've seen any of those.
Fast and
I've seen The Witch Hunter.
Why is Tom Holland in Fast and Furious 10?
So why not?
Because you're looking at some shitty.
I'm on Google.
Shitty ass. Well, there you go.
Here's a take.
Guy.
Here's a take. I think I'm gonna like Jungle Cruise.
I've heard it's not bad.
Yeah.
The Rock needs his R-rated.
Then he has that Gal Gadot movie coming on Netflix.
Red Notice. That could be good. But like I said, The Rock needs his movie where he's just using his muscles to kill people. When Milkshake, Gunpowder
Scorpion
Milkshake.
Remember that?
Wasn't great, but as I was watching Gunpowder Milkshake, I thought to myself, oh my God, these women are going to murder a bunch of people in a few minutes. That's awesome. And I need to see that from The Rock before I die.
I'm still waiting for that Oscar performance.
Well, you're going to be waiting a mighty long time, my friend. This question here from Tristan Lee, 19. When will Boone be fired and who would you hire? Also, is Cashman on his way out?
Cashman needs to be fired. This man put together this fucking team, and it's abysmal. It's not abysmal. We're over 500.
It's not abysmal, but it's an underachieving team.
Yeah.
And it's the same formula he always goes with. Power hitters, no small ball, analytics. The shortest right field in sports and no
lefty on our
lefties.
team, bro.
Dude, if we're down 2-0, I have like zero faith that we're going to come back and win. We have no hitting. It's insane. We either blow them out or we lose.
Honestly, Yankee fans are so goddamn spoiled. And usually it pisses me off, but we're just inventing new ways to lose at this point. But we're still going to finish for 90 wins this year. And we haven't had a losing season in 25 years.
And the last one we had, it was by 2 games.
And so it's we could be better, but I don't know if it's Boone's fault at this point with all the analytics. He's made some very questionable decisions. So
Yeah, but the last what we throw like 3 or 4 wild pitches to lose the game. It's like that's not Boone's fault, but that's a loss.
Well, no,
that
maybe you
shouldn't
take
have
him
happened.
out after the third wild pitch. Like, hey, maybe this guy doesn't have it. But
You're also a professional pitcher.
You always got
gotta figure it out.
to. At this point, they've been so inconsistent. They're underperforming. I'm a proponent of not always scapegoating the manager, but I think the Yankees are in need of a shakeup. They really are, and it starts with Cashman. And if you get rid of Cashman, you got to get rid of Boone because Cashman brought him in.
bring in Theo Epstein.
Right. Thanks for everything you've done. Yeah, and Ozzie Guillen. Please, just give me one season of Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie Guillen in New York would
Give me
just
fucking
be
Bobby Valentine at this point.
Oh,
Who gives a shit?
God, no. Fuck that guy. The first thing he says after becoming the Red Sox manager is Derek Jeter's overrated.
I just like how he came back into the dugout that one time with a fake mustache after getting injected.
Hilarious. The two funniest things that's ever happened in a baseball game is that and Manny Ramirez cutting off the cutoff man.
With the diving play.
This is the first time he's ever made a diving catch. So give me that real quick. We're going to speed this up. This question here from George Sutcliffe. Good question. Best performance in a Tarantino film. His choice is Samuel L. Jackson in Django. That's a hot take for a lot of people. And as great as Christoph Waltz is and as good as Leo is, I think Samuel L. Jackson may be the best performance in that movie.
I would put him behind them.
Anytime he was on screen, he
But
stole
still, he's great in that.
So many good performances in that movie.
I'm trying to think back to like all the good performances.
You really can't nail down one in that movie.
Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards for a lot of people.
That might be the best.
John Travolta in
Let's go every movie.
why can't
Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably Brad Pitt. Django, I'd go Leo. Glorious Bastards, Waltz.
You're better off picking the movie than just
Death Proof the
nailing
Car.
Kill Bill. Oh, that's actually. Is it Tuma? Yeah, Tuma.
Yeah, it's not
It's a great.
It's not a movie you watch for its performances, but they all get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
They're all playing their
She's
characters.
very good in.
She's the one in Pulp Fiction.
Yes, of course. Reservoir Dogs. Like maybe.
Steve Buscemi.
Guy doesn't like to tip.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of his name? He's in every fucking Michael. Stuck in the Middle guy.
Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen. Yes. Fucking. How did I forget that?
You just don't know movies, man.
Mr. Blonde.
Steve Buscemi. His. I feel like that's a take Teddy would have.
Well, Hateful Eight.
Samuel Jackson.
Walton Goggins. Nah, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, Walton Goggins is good in that too. He's also good in Django for the brief scenes. The Django, you don't pay for this, the Django.
That's like the most satisfying character that ever got shot in the balls twice.
Django was just blowing people away at the end of that movie.
Dude, but at the end, when he's hanging and like he's gonna cut off his nuts.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
Did we miss any movie?
Jackie Brown would be. Oh, I can't remember her name.
But yeah, I know.
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Pam Grier.
Pam Grier.
Dude, wherever Quentin Tarantino goes, Samuel L. Jackson goes.
You just picking that up?
I'm just looking at all the castings. It's like you see his name everywhere.
Wait a minute, I'm sensing a pattern.
Let me tell you about
It's
De
so
Niro
funny.
and Scorsese, Ted.
It's so funny.
He'll find a way to squeeze. The only one he couldn't squeeze him in was Inglourious Bastards, but he gives him a little voiceover narration
That's hilarious.
before about the film stock.
Yo, is this Saoirse Ronan and all the Greta Gerwig films? I shouldn't have done that. I should have asked Teddy to read Saoirse Ronan's name and see what he could come up with.
Oh, no way.
You would have bit your tongue off.
He did From Dusk Till Dawn. He was a screenplay on it. Quentin
Yes,
Tarantino.
and he was an actor in it. I'll give him that one. No, I'll give that actually. Oh God, Selma Hayek.
I do like the Michael, like obviously when we talk about like Scorsese and De Niro and things of that nature, like I like the non-star pairings though, like the Michael Madsen, Quentin Tarantino, or like Patrick Wilson and like Wes Anderson.
Right.
I just realized I mixed up Luke Wilson and Patrick Wilson, but you know what I mean. It's gotta suck. I wish Patrick Wilson was in that trio with Owen and Luke, but just doesn't fit.
Patrick Wilson is.
I mean, even Luke. I mean, he was the star of a couple of those movies too, so it's not technically the same as secondary or tertiary. More like Taika Waititi with what's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
No, the cop from
Oh, right.
from Hunt for the Wilder
I
People.
like that.
She
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
She always hangs around.
Or even like David Lynch with what the fuck's his name?
Justin
the diner
Theroux.
guy from Mulholland Drive. Well, Justin Theroux is like a big guy,
Yeah.
but he was also in Twin Peaks. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean. I like that.
Yeah. Villeneuve has one.
I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, it's the
the
guy.
polka dot guy in the new Suicide. He's in every Villeneuve movie. And I think he's in Dune as well. He's good friends with James Gunn. I like that too, though. That was a good question. Thanks. All right, this question here from Diego Guzman 426. Thoughts on Giannis winning his first ring?
I'm happy for him. He's one of the
Doesn't count.
dude. Mickey Mouse ring.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We were talking about like that.
No, good for him, man.
It ended. It's over
injuries
now.
Injuries is the way it is.
Like
They had their chance and they took it finally.
that meme has like it lasted a bit longer. I think it got some like life for a while because it just kept getting more and more absurd. But like when people started doing it for Giannis, I'm like, all right, this is done. Because it's like, all right, we like it's just sure the ring isn't like the most. There were definitely. I mean, every year you can look back and make discussions like, oh, the ring's not deserved, the ring's not this, whatever. But like,
Yeah, and if he would
The
have
joke
lost,
is
they
just-
would have fucking
Yeah.
crushed it.
and the
100%.
joke's over. I'm happy for Giannis. 26 years old. His resume is fucking insane. He has potential to be like.
He's got GOAT
He won
potential. I'm not
potential.
saying he will be the
I was
GOAT.
gonna say top.
He won
5,
this team
but,
the
like,
ring, man. It was on him.
Hey, top 5 is GOAT potential.
I've never seen like even LeBron, but like his dominance in that game 6, and even for like during that winning streak is just something. I don't know, like his defensive presence too. Some of those blocks were just insane, and like
The block on DeAndre Ayton is the best defensive play I think I've ever seen in a basketball game. Because it's like it happened in slow motion. The guy's guarding Chris Paul, and all of a sudden he's blocking he's guarding Booker, and then he recovers.
and he was getting so much disrespect earlier in these
He's so
playoffs.
disrespected.
Not a Batman, and
They want him to play like Prime Iverson. He's
Yeah,
new
right.
age Shaq. He's the jack of all trades Shaq.
Really, he is. When I first heard that, I'm like, like no, it's not like, but he is. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he can just get to his spot on his own,
Right.
and that's the difference.
Yeah, he's obviously can play more on the wing. He's obviously a better ball handler. He's an incredible passer. But the way that he dominates in the paint, and with his physicality, he puts up the most paint points since Shaq.
Yeah.
And his defensive prowess, like you said, the weak side, being able to guard 1 through 5. You put that guy on any team.
He's probably the face
They're a
of the
contender.
league after LeBron and Curry. If they were
You
like
you put
retire.
RJ Barrett up there?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
A couple of years you will.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, he might have overtaken Curry, but I think Curry is just such a like in terms of like like his face and like all the shit he's been in commercial wise. Like he's just been around everywhere.
The NBA media and narratives, it's all such a in the moment.
Yeah.
I love Giannis, truly, and he does have that GOAT potential, but
He's a great personality. He seems like a very just good, like genuine guy. So I'm very happy for him.
I think number 1 is still Kevin Durant until we see otherwise. Because,
Can't be friends, man. Let Evan Fournier just ball up on him.
dude,
I love that quote by Dame, dude. That the international players play different for their country.
Yeah, and you see what somebody responded?
What?
So did the Americans.
They need Melo.
If they're playing for the chip, yeah.
Dude, short and 3-point line, that's his mid range.
They don't have that true NBA superstar alpha on this team. It's a funky ass roster.
No, you would think Kevin Durant would take over.
If they lose to Iran, I mean, pack it up.
I think
No disrespect.
Aren't we
to
0-3
Iran.
right now?
Fantastic.
they shouldn't lose to
Movies.
anybody.
France got hitters, man.
Maybe like this
Frank
Greece have
Ntilikina.
Giannis. Do they have all the Antetokounmpos? No, like
Gobert on that
It's
team
like-
too.
Yeah, Giannis isn't playing, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he's there.
I mean, Luka.
God.
I mean, you run into Luka maybe, but like it's only him.
You see what he did today to Argentina?
Yo,
What, 49?
He's another
He's knocking on the face.
dude.
of
The
Miami door.
NBA, like international, like that might be one of like the best jobs. I guess that's David Stern. He pushed that initiative of getting the international people, like people from everywhere, invested in the NBA.
We were
And
just talking
look
about
at
that.
look at like the
last
athletes
pod.
it turned out. Like you have 3 top 10 players, maybe even top 8, with Jokic, Giannis, and Doncic, like all non-American,
arguably top 10,
and potential faces of the NBA.
Yeah, it's incredible. The players that come out of Canada, Australia, and
like
of course,
NFL
Europe.
London, that's been going terribly.
Well, basketball, I think it appeals more to the Europeans. The aesthetic of the game, the passing, the movement. Football's a hard sell if you don't grow up with it. But it is truly, it's awesome. It's
you can play
becoming
basketball
like soccer.
all year round, though. You can play soccer all year round in those countries.
Yeah.
You can't really play football everywhere.
The infrastructure,
you can, obviously, but
that's how sports grow. Is you need the infrastructure. It's hard to set up infrastructure for football.
Yeah,
and it's very easy for basketball.
But think about it: you can't do tournaments with football. You can only play one game. Like baseball, you can go back to back.
There was a quote a few years ago by Masai Ujiri, the general manager of the Raptors, and he's like, "You think Giannis is good? There are hundreds of Giannises in Africa that haven't been discovered," and that's so true.
Yeah.
You see all these players now, these kids in middle school or high school that come from Africa, and they're just huge, and they're very skilled.
Well, I think Giannis didn't like pick up a basketball until how old?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was already in high school. I think he was like in 9th grade when he first started playing.
That's crazy.
Why can't I fucking do something like that?
All right, this last question here from SQREU. Do you think Deku and Todoroki will be able to surpass All Might and Endeavor in the end? I think that's where the show is heading.
Well, it's number 1, number 2 hero.
Yeah.
I mean,
they kind of spoil it in the opening that Deku is going to eventually become number 1.
That's why I think you said there might be a time jump. I think that is because like he obviously sounds different than he is now when he narrates in his voice.
He's already established in the
I think Todoroki's probably the best character in the show. I think like his upbringing and his like I was laughing at the guy from the other high school who we met who doesn't like Endeavor.
So funny. The wind guy?
He's a very obnoxious guy. He's he's hilarious.
His relationship with Todoroki is incredible.
But like I can see that starting to brew. But like Todoroki right now, like everything, like how he's been able to kind of embrace himself and kind of going from like I thought like would happen with Bakugo was like, you know, learn to embrace Deku. But like it ended up being him who did it, and I thought that was a nice moment for that character.
Don't sleep on my boy Bakugo.
He's pissed. He pisses me off, man. He's like, I get it, but like, I feel like
he pisses me off too.
By this time, it's like, come on, just be nice to the kid. I do love every time he tries to square up with someone. He's just like, I'll fucking kill you.
Well, when the kid punched Deku in the balls and Bakugo smiles for like the only time.
They had a nice moment. They fought.
Yes,
that was a nice moment.
It was a very.
But still, at the end, he's like, just still like, fuck you, Deku, bitch.
He's really growing now. You'll see it, especially after what just happened with the provisional licenses. Also, I hear they're going to be the main focus of the new movie that's coming out.
There is a movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like I wanted to make a point, but I can't remember it. So we'll just wrap up the podcast. Look at that. The Nerd Soup podcast is ending. Teddy still hasn't watched My Hero Academia. Tragic. That you can. I'll give you that pass for the dub if you watch Dark with the sub. How about that?
All right.
You're still going to watch it with the dub. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, do all that. Give us good ratings.
They want us to keep going.
They want us to keep going.
Wow. Damn. We were making some good points in that video. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey here. Before we end this video, I want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters. What can I say about you guys that I haven't already said about myself? You are the most important part of the channel and the main reason we keep going strong. Like Bo says, you keep the lights on in the fridge so the fridge is full. Or something like that. So, from everyone here at Nerd Soup, I'd like to thank you guys for your continued support. If you're interested in joining the ranks of our Patreon supporters, head over to patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out the rewards we offer to our patrons. We recently dropped some new stickers for you guys to check out, or you could choose a tier that will allow you to select a movie, show, or video game for us to review. We've got a full slate of fan-suggested reviews coming your way, and we're really excited about the chance to review some of those movies and shows. We've also got t-shirts, mugs, behind-the-scenes videos showing how we bring our videos to life. And once again, thank you to all our Patreon pledgers who have been supporting us throughout the years. Without you, we wouldn't be able to convert all your pledges into cryptocurrency, so thank you from my future self for making us rich.